Lewes. Local webcasting for a worldwide audience.
You're listening to Radio Lewes, where the music matters, and welcome to Guess the Year. As always, I'm Ben Fuller, and I've got a year, I've got music from the charts all the time, I've got the trivia. So let's get started as usual with music. That was Queen and One Vision. Now, of course, we start the year in January. Where else? And the Fraud Investigation Group is set up for cases of financial and commercial fraud. The Waterside Inn at Bray in Berkshire, founded by the brothers Michel and Albert Roux, becomes the first establishment in the UK to be awarded 3 Michelin Guide stars. On the 1st of January, the first mobile phone calls in the UK are made. On the 10th of January, the Sinclair C5, a battery-assisted recumbent tricycle designed by British inventor Clive Sinclair, is launched. On the 16th, London's Dorchester Hotel is bought by the Sultan of Brunei. On the 17th of January, British Telecom announces it's going to phase out its iconic red telephone boxes. And on the 29th, Margaret Thatcher becomes the first post-war Prime Minister to be publicly refused an honorary degree by Oxford University. Slightly embarrassing there. More music.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say.
Suspicious Minds from Fine Young Cannibals. Okay, into February. On the 16th of February, civil servant Clive Ponton resigns from the Ministry of Defence after his acquittal of breaching Section 2 of the Official Secrets Act concerning the leaking of documents relating to the sinking of the ARA General Belgrano during the Falklands War. On the 19th of February, BBC One soap opera EastEnders made its debut broadcast. On the 28th of February, the Provisional Irish Republican Army carries out a mortar attack on the Royal Ulster Constabulary Police Station in Newry, killing 9 officers in the highest loss of life for the RUC on a single day. More music now from Aha. That was, of course, Aha and Take On Me, which would become their signature tune. Okay, March and April are not massively eventful, so I'm going to combine them. On the 3rd of March, the UK miners' strike, involving at its peak 142,000 mine workers, ends after 1 year. On the 11th of March, Mohammed Al Fayed buys a London-based department store company, Harrods. On the 13th, rioting breaks out at the FA Cup quarter-final between Luton Town and Millwall at Kenilworth Road in Luton. Hundreds of hooligans tear seats from the stands and throw them onto the pitch before a pitch invasion takes place, resulting in 81 people, 31 of them police officers, being injured. The carnage continues in the streets near the stadium, resulting in major damage to vehicles and property. It was almost a side note, but Luton win the game 1-0. And Ford, on the 19th of March, launches the third generation of its Granada. It's sold only as a hatchback, in contrast to its predecessor, which was a saloon or estate, and in continental Europe it will be known as the Scorpio. Okay, into April. The 11th of April, an 18-month-old boy becomes the youngest person in the UK to die of HIV or AIDS. On the 22nd, construction of Japanese car maker Nissan's new factory in Sunderland, Tyne and Wear begins. The first cars are expected to be produced the following year. And on the 30th of April, Bernie Grant, born in Guyana, becomes the first black council leader when he's elected as leader of the Labour-controlled London Borough of Haringey Council. The music continues now with Madness.
Chested man, a pocket full of posies with a hat brim full of sand. Ooh, waiting for the train that never comes. A dog chasing the tumbleweeds across the sandy floor. Drift along the platform through the ticket office store. Ooh, waiting for the train that never comes. Waiting for the train that never comes. But don't tell me there's nothing coming. You don't fool me. I hear the ghost train rumbling along the track, them free. And I hear that it's black and white. Don't try to hide it. Black and white, don't try to hide. The station master's writing with a piece of orange chalk. 100 cancellations, still no one wants to walk. Keep the hungry children from the skeletons in the van. Aim to keep an eye out for the gypsy caravans. Ooh, waiting for the train that never comes. Ooh, waiting for the train that never comes.
Waiting for the ghost train there from Madness. Okay, we're into May, and on the 11th of May, sadly 56 people are killed in the Bradford City Stadium fire, and a 14-year-old boy is killed, 20 people are injured, and several vehicles are wrecked when Leeds United football hooligans riot at the Birmingham City Stadium and cause a wall to collapse. On the 13th of May, the Dire Straits album Brothers in Arms is released, and it becomes the first compact disc to sell over 1 million copies. On the 15th of May, Everton, who have already clinched their first Football League title in 15 years, win the European Cup Winners' Cup. It's their first Euro trophy with a 3-1 win over Rapid Vienna in Rotterdam. English clubs have now won 25 European trophies since 1963, and Everton are also in contention for a treble. of major trophies as they take on Manchester United in the FA Cup final in 3 days' time. On the 16th of May, 2 South Wales miners are sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of a taxi driver, David Wilkie. Dean Hancock and Russell Shankland, both 21 years old, dropped a concrete block on Mr Wilkie's taxi from a road overbridge in November the previous year. Scientists on the British Arctic Survey discover a hole in the ozone layer on the same day. On the 18th of May, Manchester United win the FA Cup for the 6th time in their history with a 1-0 win over Everton at the final at Wembley Stadium. And what else can I tell you? On the 31st of May, the Football Association bans all English football clubs from playing in Europe until further notice in response to the Hazel riots. Thatcher supports the ban and calls for the judges to hand out stiffer sentences for convicted football hooligans. More music to follow.
Let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, shout.
Shout there from Tears for Fears. We're into June now. On the 1st of June, we saw the Battle of the Beanfield, Britain's largest mass arrest and the effective end of Stonehenge free festivals. On the 2nd of June, in response to the Hazel Stadium disaster 4 days previously, UEFA bans all English football clubs from European competitions for an indefinite period, recommending that Liverpool should serve an extra 3 years of exclusion once all other English clubs have been reinstated. On the 6th of June, Birmingham unveils its bid to host the 1992 Summer Olympics, which includes plans for a new £66 million stadium. On the 13th of June, the James Bond movie A View to a Kill is released, marking the final appearance by Roger Moore as the fictional secret agent after 6 films since 1973. On the 22nd of June, police arrest 13 suspects in connection with the Brighton hotel bombing, and on the 29th, Patrick McGee is charged with the murder of the people who died in the Brighton bombing. We've got more music now from Robert Palmer.
Keep
Robert Palmer and Addicted to Love. You're listening to Radio Lewes, where the music matters. This is Guess the Year. We're into July. On the 4th of July, 13-year-old Ruth Lawrence achieves a first in mathematics at the University of Oxford, becoming the youngest British person ever to earn a first-class degree and the youngest known graduate of the university. On the 13th of July, Live Aid pop concerts in London and Philadelphia raise over £50 million for famine relief in Ethiopia. And on the 24th of July, the country code top-level-domain.uk is registered. More music now. Was Jan Hammer and the Miami Vice theme. Okay, August, and the first is another unpleasant one. On the 7th of August, 5 people are killed in the White House farm murders. Neville and June Bamber, a couple in their 60s, are found shot dead, as is their 27-year-old adoptive daughter, Sheila Caffel, and her 6-year-old twin sons, Daniel and Nicholas. The crime is treated by the police and reported by the media as a murder-suicide committed by Sheila Caffel, who had a long history of mental health issues. On the 13th of August, the first UK heart-lung transplant is carried out in the Hereford Hospital in Middlesex. The patient is 3-year-old Jamie Gavin. And on the same day, the Sinclair C5 ceases production after just 7 months and fewer than 17,000 units. On the 22nd of August, 55 people are killed in the Manchester air disaster at Manchester International Airport when a British Air Tours Boeing 737 burst into flames after the pilot aborts the takeoff. And on the 24th of August, 5-year-old John Shorthouse is shot dead by police at his family's house in Birmingham, where they were arresting his father on suspicion of an armed robbery committed in South Wales. Not a happy year, this one. Music now from Billy Idol.
Here she come now, say money, money. Shoot 'em down, turn around, come on, money. Hey, she give me love and I feel alright now. You gotta toss and turn and
Billy Idol with the downtown mix of Moni Moni. Okay, September, and it sees Seat, the Spanish car maker, originally a subsidiary of Fiat, but now under controlling interest from Volkswagen, begin importing cars into the UK. Its range consisted of the Marbella, a rebadged version of the Fiat Panda, the Ibiza hatchback, and the Malaga Saloon. On the 1st of September, a joint French-American expedition locates the wreck of the RMS Titanic. And on the 4th, the first photographs and films of the Titanic's wreckage are taken 73 years after it sank. On the 8th of September, Jeremy Bamber is arrested on suspicion of murdering his adoptive parents, sister and 2 nephews at their Essex farmhouse the previous month, after police had originally believed that his sister had killed herself after shooting her parents and sons. On the 9th, rioting, mostly motivated by racial tension, breaks out at the Handsworth area of Birmingham. On the 10th, the riots in Handsworth escalated with mass arson and looting, resulting in thousands of pounds worth of damage, leaving several people injured, and resulted in the deaths of 2 people who died when the local post office was petrol bombed. One of the fatalities was the owner of the post office. And on the same day, Scotland national football team manager Jock Stein, 62, collapses and dies from a heart attack at the end of his team's 1-1 draw with Wales at the Ninian Park in Cardiff, which secured Scotland's place in the World Cup qualification playoff. It's a busy month, September. Going to skip down to the 28th. A riot in Brixton erupts after an accidental shooting of a woman by police. 1 person dies in the riot, 50 are injured and more than 200 are arrested. And on the 29th, Jeremy Bamber is rearrested upon his return to England after 2 weeks on holiday in France and is charged with 5 counts of murder. Okay, we go back to the music now.
In 1965, Vietnam seemed like just another foreign war, but it wasn't. It was different in many ways, and so were those who did the fighting. In World War II, the average age of the combat soldier was 26. In Vietnam, he was 19. 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 19.
The heaviest fighting of the past 2 weeks continued today, 25 miles northwest of Saigon.
I wasn't really sure what was going on.
19. In Vietnam, the combat soldier typically served a 12-month tour of duty, but was exposed to hostile fire almost every day. 19.
In Saigon, a U.S. military spokesman said today more than 700 enemy troops were killed last week in that sensitive border area. Throughout all of South Vietnam, the enemy lost a total of 2,689 soldiers.
According to a Veterans Administration study, half of the Vietnam combat veterans suffer from what psychiatrists call post-traumatic stress disorder. Many vets complain of alienation, rage, or guilt. Some succumb to suicidal thoughts. 8 to 10 years after coming home, almost 800,000 men are still fighting the Vietnam War. None of them received the hero's welcome.
Paul Hardcastle, and 19. We're into October. On the 5th of October, Mrs. Cynthia Jarrett, the 49-year-old black woman, dies after falling over during a police search of her home on the Blackwater Farm estate in Tottenham, London. And the following day, PC Keith Blacklock is fatally stabbed during the Broadwater Farm riot in Tottenham, which began after the death of Cynthia Jarrett. 2 of his colleagues are treated in hospital for gunshot wounds, as are 3 journalists. On the 17th of October, the House of Lords decides the legal case of Gillick v West Norfolk and Wisbech Area Health Authority, which sets the significant precedent of Gillick competence, i.e. that a child of 16 or under may be competent to consent to contraception or, by extension, other medical treatment without requiring parental permission or knowledge. On the 28th of October, production of the Peugeot 309 begins at the Ryton Car Factory near Coventry. The 309, a small family hatchback, is the first foreign car, inverted commas, to be built in the UK. It was originally going to be badged as the Talbot Arizona, but Peugeot has decided that the Talbot badge will be discontinued on passenger cars after the next year, and that the Ryton plant will then be used for the production of its own products. And on the 31st of October, the 2 miners who killed taxi driver David Wilkie in South Wales 11 months earlier have had their life sentences for murder reduced to 8 years for manslaughter on appeal. More music now.
way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, damn guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Move on, move on. Mama, she got it sticking in the cameraman. Oh, we could have some. And he's up there. What's that? Hawaiian noises. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free. We got to install a microwave oven, custom kitchen delivery. We got to move refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Listen here, now that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free. Get your money for nothing. And the chicks for free. Look at that, look at that. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free.
Dire Straits, of course, and Money for Nothing. I'm going to amalgamate November and December because not a great deal of real interest is happening. On the 1st of November, the Queen Mother commissions aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal. On the 5th, Mark Kaler defeats Errol Christie to become the middleweight boxing champion after the two brawl in front of the cameras at the weigh-in. On the 15th, the Anglo-Irish agreement is signed at Hillsborough Castle. Treasury Minister Ian Gell resigns in protest at the deal. And department stores, British Home Stores and Habitat announce a 1.5 million amalgamation on the 25th of November. And on the 29th, Gerard Horeau, exiled political leader from the Seychelles, is assassinated in London. In December, on the 4th of December, Scotland's World Cup qualification is secured by a goalless draw against Australia in the playoff second leg in Sydney. And on the 25th, charitable organisation Comic Relief is launched. On the 26th, rock star Phil Lynott, formerly a member of the band Thin Lizzy, is rushed to hospital after collapsing from a suspected heroin overdose at his home in Berkshire. More music.
We
Tina Turner, We Don't Need Another Hero. Okay, I always finish the show with movies and technology, and we'll mention Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome first, which starred Tina Turner and featured that song. Others were Back to the Future, Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4. There was The Colour Purple, Out of Africa, Cocoon, Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment, and of course the previously mentioned A View to a Kill. On the technology front, the Food and Drug Administration approves a blood test for AIDS. The first .com domain name, symbolics.com, is registered by the Symbolics Corporation. However, edu domains for educational institutions are still predominate over the commercial .com ones. Microsoft Corporation releases the first version of Windows 1.0. Switzerland is the first country to bring into law that catalytic converters must be fitted to private cars. Compact discs are introduced to American consumers. The Space Shuttle Atlantis is launched. The UK starts screening blood donations for AIDS, and British scientists discover a hole in the Earth's ozone layer. That is it. This has been 1985. You've been listening to Guess the Year here on Radio Lewes, where the music matters. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to leave you with more music from the movies now. This is Duran Duran and A View to a Kill. Till next time, stay safe. Ta-da.
Meeting you with a view to a kill, face to face in secret places, feel the chill. Nightfall covers me, but you know oversea. Could it be the whole of opening wide? A sacred wine, a mystery gaping inside. The weekend's wine until we dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Into the fire, to fatal sounds of broken dreams. Dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire. Choice for you is the view to a kill. Between the shades, assassination standing still. First crystal tears fall as snowflakes on your body. First time in years to drench your skin with lover's rosy stain. A chance to find the phoenix for the flame. A chance to die, but can we dance
Radio Lewes. Local community webcasting.